And a good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to McLean Broadcast Network. Tonight we have our second matchup of a doubleheader. Washington Lee Generals varsity team visiting McLean. McLean coming off of a 5-0 pounding of Stonebridge Bulldogs that you heard right here last week on the McLean Broadcast Network. I'm Matthew Zwerb once again with my partner Graham. Graham, well, it was a 3-0 defeat for the JV team. Think McLean Varsity can pull it off?
I think that McLean Varsity will be able to pull this one off because I think there's a line between the JV and Varsity. While JV was playing excellent defense, they could just not take opportunities on offense, and I think that's one thing that the Varsity will need to be able to do tonight to win.
Yeah, I agree. Two terrific teams. Washington Lee taking the Liberty District Championship 2 years ago. Obviously, Langley with the state championship last year. But these two teams are competitive teams. McLean made it to regionals last year. This should be a good game. Sun setting off to our left. McLean there in the white uniforms with the red numbers. They have their McLean shield and they're all white uniforms. Navy blue for Washington Lee Generals. They have white numbers. McLean, the numbers are in red. McLean going from right to left. Washington Lee going from left to right. 40 minutes on the clock. Our scoreboard is to our left here at McLean High School. Washington Lee will be kicking off first. It is soccer on McLean Broadcast Network here on this beautiful Friday night. It's Friday Night Lights. And we are underway with Washington Lee immediately here in the center of the field, trying to get attack going. A pass is blocked on the far side. It's Washington Lee ball as they retain possession. Number 14, Marchand Hockey. Very interesting last name. Can't say that I haven't seen that before. Washington Lee, they work it towards the near side, towards where we are, number 2 for the Washington Lee with it, and he'll try to play it ahead, head it away, and then McLean trying to get with possession, and they will. Sending it up ahead. Nice little run. Fed it on back. McLean still with possession. They have a big run here trying to go, but it's ultimately offsides. And I think he realized it. We're going to get a number for you shortly, but with just under 39 minutes to go, it is still scoreless.
And as a varsity team, McLean team starts off, they've played strong defensively, and they took some shots down the field there.
Yeah, a nice through ball, but number 9, who was the recipient of that through ball, that is Howard Charles. He even knew he was offside. He kind of looked back to say, hey, where's the flag? And they ultimately put it up as the ball goes back towards McLean's goal, and he'll play it out the midfield, but nowhere near any McLean players. It's Washington Lee's ball. Washington Lee in the midfield, trying to keep it from going out of bounds on the near side. They will, and it's going to be Washington Lee's ball, number 2. Isaac Gambo.
Yes, so it's Isaac Gambo there.
Yeah, with the throw in.
Ball in bounds, but McLean ultimately gets the ball back.
Yeah, McLean ball here in the midfield, trying to work with it, and a throw in coming for the Highlanders. They'll get it in, but goes through everybody, falls to Washington Lee player Brian Lopez, the junior, heading it away, and then it comes to the far side, and McLean now with possession. McLean trying to set something up. They do here, trying to go on a breakaway. Here comes number 9. Won't be able to get a breakaway, trying to play it back, and that was an unfortunate pass there.
That was a very nice pass from McLean, but that was a little bit too fast there.
Yeah, I mean, number 9 trying to just play it back for the Highlanders, play it across after the through ball didn't work. Here's another through ball, and their goalie will dive on it and will play it out for Washington Lee. McLean with some nice through balls.
I think overall, 4 minutes in, we've seen McLean play very strong and aggressive so far, and they steal the ball back.
A foul coming and a free kick for the Highlanders at about the 40-yard line, about 50 yards out from goal. And the Highlanders will have an opportunity, by the way, the 40-yard line is the football markings on the field a little bit easier. We'll play it probably into the box, and they will. Headed away, but McLean still having it. McLean with possession, and it will be knocked out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for the Highlanders.
From what I've seen so far from the Highlanders, they're taking major advantages of their opportunities. They have been playing very well offensively, and they've been getting the ball down the field into the box.
Yeah, played away there. It will still remain Highlanders throwing on a deflection. On the far side, they have 2 men in the box. 4 men in the box. And they're just gonna throw it in, but it's headed away for Washington Lee. And here come the Generals the other way. Plays it across the number 9 on the near side of field across the McLean logo. A nice pass there, and it's going to be onside for Generals. They're working with it, trying to get it, feed it in. Nobody home for Generals, and then a tough tackle, and it's all this going to end up being McLean ball, and it will end up being punched away, and then Washington Lee. You can really see both teams playing aggressive in this. Number 11 for Highlanders trying to get something started, isn't able to, and then the ball will be punched all the way back down, and then going down is number 21, played back Washington Lee with possession, number 9 with a shot, and it goes in, a shot and a goal. And it's 1-0 Washington Lee. And you know what? There was a push by a Washington Lee player. I'm not sure.
Was called.
Yeah, I'm wondering where the foul was. I mean, I don't want to be.
Because of that push from Washington Lee, McLean's defense was not set, and now it's 1-0 Washington Lee.
I mean, I don't want to be biased or anything, but I mean, that looked to be a sure foul, and the referee did not call it. I'm pretty surprised because that looked to me like that
looked like a foul to me. I mean, he pushed him.
Yeah, that could have been a yellow card, but it's 1-0 Washington Lee, and ultimately the Highlanders, after having a good play, here they come again, and it's going to be kicked out. A good job by Washington Lee goaltender. That ball out of bounds and be McLean possession, but Graham. I mean, the mindset for the Highlanders, they have to go right back to the attack.
Yes, and I think that's what they plan on.
And then a turnover, number 7 for Washington Lee, inside the box, trying to play it through. Oh, man, and a McLean player tied up a Washington Lee player. Now a shot coming from number 20. And that, no, excuse me, I believe, yes, number 20 for Washington Lee. That is Benner G. And that's over the bar, but a bad turnover. And you don't need this if you're the Highlanders right now.
No, I've got to tell you something. The difference between the JV McLean team and the varsity McLean team right now is that the varsity McLean team is taking advantage of their opportunities on offense. They've been down in Washington Lee's end, and they've had major possession advantage here.
Yeah, but ultimately, Washington Lee trying to ride a 1-0 lead that came off of what is a controversial non-call by the referee, and Washington Lee bat the other way, trying to get it towards the top of the 20-yard box, won't work, and then a turnover for the Highlanders. They made a couple turnovers in the last couple minutes. It's about 32 minutes to go, 8 minutes gone, 1-0 Washington Lee, and the Generals the other way towards the middle of the field, trying to get it through. Nice block for the Highlanders. And they'll take it ahead. Highlanders with possession. Long ball here. Highlanders opportunity trying to get through, and a foul called right outside of the box. It's a little hard to see, but
I don't think that should have been a foul on the goalie there because he tripped up number 7 there.
yeah, and I do believe that is the call from the officials. And the Highlanders will have a free kick here with about 30.
Second free kick of the game.
Yeah, for the Highlanders. Let's see what they can do on this one. Waiting for the referee to give the clear signal. They have about 4 guys in the box. They'll play in low, trying to get the rebounds punched out, and Washington Lee up with possession. Good passing here for the Generals. They'll move it on the far side, up the field and around midfield. And Washington Lee trying to make something happen here. See if they can double their lead. Nice ball out, but the Highlanders goalie is able to get it, and he will try to kick it downfield.
I've noticed something with the Highlanders goalies tonight. Both of them have played, even for the JV team, have played very well during the first half.
Yeah, very important. Here's the Highlanders now with possession. Nice little through ball coming in. A shot and a goal. We're tied. It's 1-1. Oh, a beautiful little through ball. And the Highlanders have notched it up. It's 1-1. Oh, man, that was a beauty with about 30 minutes to go. And we are tied at 1.
That was a beautiful shot. And I'd just love to see replay of that one because he ran right past the goalie, kept control of the ball, and shot it into the goal.
Yeah, going far side with that. And it's 1-1. Man, the Highlanders playing very well so far. I've been able to come back from that early 1-0 deficit and to tie this. It's number 20 working with it, and then he'll play it off on the far side. Washington Lee with possession. They'll play it a far ball, and then it's ultimately skipped back, and Washington Lee trying to get possession, but McLean, nice turnover in their own offensive area. Number 11 trying to spin around everybody, and then Washington Lee will take over.
I have seen McLean play excellent offense thus far. I mean, they've been playing really well with that one shot that they managed to get off, too.
Oh, man, number 7 go through to finish a shot. Oh, what a save. Oh, my goodness. The goalie for the Highlanders robbing everyone. Curran with a huge save. And this game remains tied. Number 7 went through the entire McLean defense. And Curran makes a huge save on Washington Lee. Number 7, by the way. That is Mendez. Lucas Mendez. A beautiful run by him to get through everyone. But this game remains tied. And then a foul called on the Generals, and the Highlanders will have a free kick.
You know, I've seen Hugh Curran, other than that one goal that he let in, he's been playing some excellent defense tonight at the goalie position.
Yeah, I mean, a huge save to keep his team in, but the Highlanders, this needs to be motivation. This game could have been very easily 2-1, and that's a huge save coming up for his team. I mean, the Highlanders, if there's one bleak spot, their defense, well, it's been good, but it could be better. And Washington Lee starting to get some more possession, just like in the JV game. Here's a nice combo run coming in. A shot in that one well wide, trying to squeeze it in near post, but Curran had that covered goal kick coming.
I'm seeing a difference here between the JV and varsity team for McLean. Is that the JV team likes to play more close-up defense, but then they don't get men down the field, where the varsity team puts men down the field, but then you're risking not playing as strict of defense.
Yeah, and here's a nice play and a long shot for number 9 for the Highlanders. That is Howard Charles seeing the goalie off his line for Washington Lee, but he puts it away right with about 26 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. They play 40 minutes halves for in Varsity. And then a weird type play number 7 for the Generals trying to get there, and Charles had to come out and get on it, and he did, and then a foul committed there by number 17 for Washington Lee.
What I've seen from the referees so far tonight is there have been questionable calls, but they have done a very nice job at calling the fouls on Washington Lee with 2 free kicks for McLean as well.
Yeah, and this one will be for about 40 yards out. Here, they're going to sail it into a butt-headed, and that one just wide. A good job for Highlanders getting the header on it, I do believe. Or are they? And they're going to say that was deflected by Washington Lee with about 25 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. McLean with a huge corner opportunity. Playing it in. Short trying to go back. Oh, man, and that one just went high. The shot came out. It bounced around. McLean just couldn't bury it.
I really like the way that McLean has played tonight. They've been playing very well with their opportunities, and they've taken a lot of shots so far.
Yeah, offensively for both teams have been quite good. Having made some good saves. That last one just over the bar. And by the way, McLean, Washington Lee, number 2, just ran the ball out, and McLean with possession. Man, a good job by number 9 just to keep going. But it will be a foul, and it will be Washington Lee free kick. Whole bunch of players going down that looked like it was more on Washington Lee, but nonetheless, they will have possession with the ball. A far ball sent out of the reach of number 12 will try to go chase it down, and he'll go out of bounds. A nice defensive play, and the Highlanders, no way. They're going to say it's a corner. I thought they said it was a goal kick, but it is a corner. So Washington Lee, I believe, with their first corner of the night. Good crowd on hand here for this game. A good traveling group of parents from Washington Lee over in Arlington County. Free kick coming in. Take it down. Trying to go back post, and a great header away. And McLean, man, that could have been 2-0 easily. 2-1, excuse me. Graham, defensively, McLean's had some good key saves there.
Yes, they've had some very good key saves, but they've been very close calls as well. I think they need to start to play a little bit stricter on defense, because it's only a matter of time before one of those shots actually goes in.
Yeah, McLean and Washington Lee's haven't changed chances. It's more even than it's not even, but ultimately for the Highlanders, you don't want to let the get to that, because Washington Lee, they've had a couple chances. McLean, they could have buried one down, but right now Washington Lee with a key throw-in, and it will be with a chance to get the ball into the box as we await the arrival of the ball. And they'll play it short. And then outbound, still Washington Lee's ball. About 5 yards from goal. Played out of the 20-yard box, and then good defense by McLean just to be able to keep that here to the near side. but it's still Washington Lee ball, and see what they can do. Number 20 to throw it in for the Generals. That is Benner G. He'll throw it in the number 2. That's Isaac G. Not the same name, no. That's Gamboa. 21 minutes to go. Washington Lee with possession, and then almost turned over. Washington Lee on the far side still having possession, and McLean, they need to do something to get possession in the box, trying to work with it, and then a foul called, and McLean's going to get a free kick. How about that?
This is going to be, I think this is going to be their 5th free kick of the night, and we're not even done with the first half yet with 21 minutes remaining. This has been incredible. Defensive wise, I think McLean has been playing very well, but there are some things that they could improve on.
Yeah, I mean, any team can improve on a lot of things, but for McLean, as they give the ball right back to Washington Lee, but that's going to spur out bounce. It will be Highlanders' ball on the near side. But for the Highlanders, they can do a better job of just playing better. Honestly, here's a through ball trying to get the number 9. And Washington Lee will just wisely send it over towards the far side. It's going to roll off of McLean forward and out. And Washington Lee with possession. I feel like McLean now gets the ball back, trying to take it. Number 11. And it'll be punched out. Washington Lee, a good defensive play there. I feel like McLean, they could be doing a little bit better with possession-wise. Washington Lee's had, I feel like, more possession, especially for past 5 or so minutes, with about 20 minutes to go, just under. So we're about halfway through here. 1-1, McLean and Washington Lee, and both teams have settled down. Washington Lee got the early goal on a controversial shove from behind on a McLean player that probably should have been a foul, and then they had an opportunity right out front, and then McLean able to, on a nice through ball, able to put it home. Graham, how about the seems like both teams have started to settle it down.
You know, it's amazing how fast the game can change in just moments. Because McLean started off very well, and now both teams have settled down a little bit.
Yeah, ball out bounce. It's gonna be, I do believe, Highlanders' ball. And number 21 to throw it in. That is James Bradley. And then I do believe the ball did go offside on a through ball there. So ultimately, Washington Lee trying to move it upfield, trying to make it 2-1. They had a gorgeous chance, except for a save made by Curran, making a beautiful two-hand save. And then here come the Highlanders. Will be offside? It will. Man, that's the second time this game, number 9, for the Highlanders. Howard Charles got him behind the defense, but it's offside. He's talking to the referee a little bit, I'm sure, frustrated.
I'm sure he's very frustrated because that's the second time tonight that's happened to him, where he had a very nice shot, but then he went offsides. So then the ball was turned back over to Washington Lee.
Yeah, always frustrating when a turnover does occur. Couple players warming up for the Highlanders to bring on. McLean with the throw in, 17:30 to go until halftime. Thank you for tuning in here on this Friday evening, Friday Night Lights. 1-1. I'm Matthew Zwerb along with my partner Graham here at McLean High School's football and all sports field. McLean Varsity Soccer trying to to get their second win in 2 weeks. But Washington Lee, a nice through ball, number 7 with a chip. Oh, Curran! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Number 7 again with a shot, and Curran leaped out and he got his fingertips on it. Graham, are you kidding me?
I've seen this again and again tonight. I'm just going to say it again. Curran has played great goalie defense there.
That's his second huge save. It could be 3-1 Washington Lee right now. If you're the Highlanders, you need to make it 2-1 because he's been saving you. And by the way, the Highlanders having a throw in on the far side. That's his second great ace save he has made. And for the Highlanders, they need to watch number 7 on Washington Lee. That is Lucas Mendez. I mean, that kid's been incredible.
They really need to keep an eye on him tonight because he's been causing McLean problems tonight defensively, and I think McLean needs to figure it out soon.
Highlanders whip the ball, a nice play out in front, a shot, oh, and a good save there, and it was Howard Charles, and a save made by their Washington Lee's goalie. And we have a player down, number 13 for Washington Lee. That is Noah Goodkind. But he got into his feet.
I think they called a foul on McLean there.
And we'll see. They're trying to sort something out. But Goodkind gingerly walking off. I think it is some sort of leg injury, I believe, on that right ankle. He's trying not to put too much weight on it, but hopefully it's nothing. 2 Highlanders coming into the game now, and we will see what they will be able to do here as the Highlanders. They will have a throw-in near the box was played out by Washington Lee, and McLean will have it on the far side. That pass back to their goalie. They'll play it short and out of bounds.
McLean passed it back to their goalie there to be safe, but I think that they should have gone for it because their goalie just kicked it out of bounds, and Washington Lee's going to have good field position.
Yeah, Washington Lee playing very aggressive right now. Has a couple players, number 2 for Highlanders coming in. That's Johnson Sorto. Getting fresh legs. Seeing what they can do here. 1-1 with about 14 minutes to go in the first half. Here on this beautiful Friday night. Clear, mild, a little on the colder side, but April tends to be either really hot or really cold. No rain. There's a possibility of snow early tomorrow. And it's April. So you never really know what the springtime's going to bring, but it's not rain tonight. It was rain yesterday. Obviously, that does impact sports this time of year. And a foul called, number 22 with a push in the back for the Highlanders. That is, I believe, Christian Egan. McLean outbounds, and then it'll be actually McLean ball.
That's the one thing that I don't get there, that the referee will call the foul on McLean for the push in the back, but on that first controversial goal, they will not call the foul on Washington Lee.
Yeah, but unfortunately that was an error there, but ultimately we're still tied at 1. Doesn't make a difference. Here's a nice run through. Oh, man. And how – and that was number 9 again, Howard Charles. He overran the ball thinking that goalie had it, and then he didn't.
Howard Charles has done a very nice job of getting behind the defense this whole game, and this time he does not get an out of bounds call.
Yeah, no offsides call there, but I mean he's been playing really well, and I mean, he thought the goalie had it, and then he didn't. And by the time he turned around, Washington Lee's goalie did. And unfortunately, you wonder if he was right there, that would have been an easy goal. But then again, you just don't want to make contact with the goalie because that's a foul against you. So kind of weird situation there.
McLean had that call earlier tonight when Mr. Howard, he got down to the middle of the box and then the goalie ran into him and it was called a foul on McLean.
Yeah. Currently throw in number 7 for Washington Lee. That is Lucas Mendez. Once again, we've said his number a couple times. He's been solid for Washington Lee thus far. Played out on deflection. It'll end up being Washington Lee's ball. About 10 yards out from goal, Lucas Mendez throwing it in once again. Washington Lee going with a little bit smaller players right now. And then number 20 trying to go around, sending it in, trying to go with the volley kick, and doesn't work. And McLean trying to go the other way. Nice idea, trying to get to Howard. And McLean working. It's going to be a free kick, number 17 holding up there on the Highlanders. That is Joseph AG. And the Highlanders have a free kick.
The Highlanders, this is going to be their 6th free kick at the half. They've done a very nice job about drawing fouls on Washington Lee tonight.
And the ball played in to the box, trying to work. Ooh, and the goalie went down hard. Washington Lee, he went up and he got it, and he came down hard on his side. Number 1, Christopher P. And they're going to have to make a goalie change this early, and you never want that with about 9 minutes and 44 seconds. They stop the clock. That's a second injury on Washington Lee for Washington Lee, and this is unfortunate. 2 big injuries for the Generals.
Yeah, you're right. This has been 2 very big injuries for the Generals, and especially their goalie. Their goalie has done a very nice job at defending tonight, and we'll have to see what this new goalie can do.
Yeah, I mean, he went up, he climbed the ladder, got the ball, and just came down hard. Jumped about 3 feet to 4 feet in the air, and just came down hard on his side, and he's hurting, unfortunately. Look, and he's still on the ground. Not sure what it could be, but he's finally up, and he's gonna walk off under his own power.
But this is still a very big loss for the Generals.
And walking pretty gingerly, or at least I have a suspicion that he might stay in the game, or no, now he's gonna walk off. And I think he's just either really winded or something's hurting. I mean, there's a whole bunch of muscles he could hurt. I don't think it's an arm issue. He kind of swings his arms around.
I think it was his leg. Well, his side. It looked like he hit his side as he went down. But the Generals better hope that this is just a wind knocked out injury, because this would really be bad to lose him for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's not favoring anything. He's not holding any of his arms. So, I mean, he just may have really gotten the wind knocked out of him pretty bad. He's trying to shake it off, and he's in obviously some discomfort. So 9:44 to go, 1-1 currently. McLean scored earlier in the first half, but it still remains a 1-1 tied game on Charles Howard's shot to the back corner, the other goalie is in for Washington Lee after the injury, the second injury for Washington Lee. And we hope that he's okay. Meanwhile, General's trying to push ahead. Nice run for Generals. See what they can do. Do they go down in a foul called? And it's going to be a Washington Lee free kick about 30 yards out. So a big chance for the Generals here with about 8:44 to go in the first half. By the way, you can follow us on Twitter at McLean Broadcast Net. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to check out all of our content. JV Varsity sent in, swirling around, and a save, and it's played out, and another big save for the goalie. Oh my goodness, the Highlanders. The goalie, Curran, with another big save, although I don't know if he saw it, he just started to go down, and that's the third big save to keep this game tied.
Yeah, I'm going to say this again and again. Hugh Curran for the McLean Highlanders has been huge tonight defensively for McLean.
Corner coming up on the far side will be sent into the box, seeing what if the Highlanders can survive this latest Washington Lee Generals attack. Play by Lucas, and then they'll send it out. And Washington Lee still with possession on a long drive. I'm not sure to who. Way over the protective netting even. That is supposed to protect lacrosse balls. But ultimately, it can also be useful for soccer balls to keep them from going all the way to the other side of the track. Or on the left side, right into the big force that is behind the scoreboard. 6:53 to go. Kurt, what the? Hello? Shoot. I must press the mute button, did I? Let's see here.
It's plugged in.
What's going on here? We'll figure this out. Come on. Come on. What's going on? There we go. Okay, welcome back, folks. Sorry for that brief interruption. We had a little technical difficulties, but we are back, by the way. 6 minutes and 10 seconds ago. Still 1-1. But I do not believe that you missed too much. Washington Lee with possession, trying to slide it through. And it will end up being a corner. I've lost track about how many corners that Washington Lee's had. By the way, Charles Howard is out of the game. He's sitting on the bench, but I'm sure he will be back. He has the lone goal for Highlanders sent in. Oh, and deflected wide of the near post. It will be a goal kick. Highlanders seeing what they can do in the last 5:30.
You mentioned the corner kicks for Washington Lee and even McLean to a certain extent, but I really think that there's been more free kicks than corner kicks here tonight, with 6 corner kicks in the first half for McLean.
Yeah, Highlanders have had opportunities, although they've had at least 3 from inside within striking distance where they can put it nearer into the box if they so choose. 5 minutes to go in this half, still 1-1. Charles Howard with the goal for the Highlanders, although it might as well be 3-1. Some golden opportunities for the visiting Washington Lee Generals, and then a ball played out here, and then a good job by the goalie to send it back to Highlanders. This time, number 5, Andrew Coe. A good job there. Getting behind the defense, and it's kind of been a big theme for the Highlanders of one man getting behind the defense to create chances, and that's what this offense seems to be built on for McLean. Long balls and a lot of running, which can work. And then there's a ball that's blocked by Coe, but it'll be Washington lead ball.
Coach just blocked that shot there, and that was a very nice block because that could have gone bad for McLean because for Washington Lee, they had some open men down the field.
Yeah, out at midfield, sent back, but Washington Lee recovers. They'll have possession at around midfield. Now they put it into their attacking zone. Washington Lee far side. Turnover, McLean with it towards the center of field. Nice outlet pass. And it'll be sent up ahead. A nice through ball. But ultimately, they'll send that into the stands. About to the top of the stands. That's a good kick for Washington Lee.
Wrong way, Matt. But we have seen some very powerful kicks, with one even going over the protective barrier onto the other side of the track.
Yeah. A ball sent in by number 13. I think that wasn't blocked. Not sure what he was thinking, but a straight pass by the Highlanders, and they'll play it short. And then now trying to work it. And then a bad foul on number 5, Coe, as he reached the leg out. He's lucky that wasn't a yellow card, because that could have been bad. An injury, I would say that's for sure a card. Midfield, just around the semicircle where the big M is. Washington Lee and McLean tied at 1, about almost 2 minutes to go till the whistle. Although it is at the ref's discretion. Under 2 minutes now, Washington Lee with possession. By the way, we will mute our mic, as there will be about a 10-minute break, and we'll come back at around 8 minutes. And then an offsides, as Washington Lee tried to get behind the defense. Curran came out anyways, made a nice diving play on the ball. It would not have counted anyways.
McLean there, they played excellent defense with a diving tackle, and while the diving tackle was missed, they still managed to get Washington Lee to go offsides there, and that's the first offsides call on Washington Lee tonight.
Yeah, and always good when you can force mistakes on the other team. Washington Lee again with possession, but McLean trying to work it back, and then it's punted all the way back. Coe after it, but ultimately here with less than a minute to go, again at the referee's discretion as far as when they will blow the whistle. About 40 seconds left in this first half. Still tied at 1. Highlanders seeing if they can get a last chance opportunity. They have numbers coming the other their way. Number 8 working with it, trying to go to middle of the field. And Washington Lee takes over at midfield, and they'll send it far side. 18 seconds left. Washington Lee trying to hurry. Trying to send it through. They do, but it's offsides. And finally, a whistle goes. 6 seconds to go. And we'll see when the referee will call time. I'm guessing after this kick by the goalie.
On McLean's possession, they were doing really well. It looked like the referee got a little bit in the way there, and that kind of distracted the other McLean players.
Yeah, well, he did not call that offsides. 0 showing on the clock. Is now up to the referee when he will blow the whistle. Washington Lee throw in their own defensive zone. McLean's offensive zone. throw it in. It's on the near side. Now it's out the midfield. Nice little move, number 10, trying to go around, but won't be able to go around everyone. And then sent long for Coe, and that's not been working. Good defensive job by Washington Lee, but one final opportunity for the Highlanders, maybe. 1-1. And seeing the Highlanders can take a 2-1 lead, that would be really great. Sent down, a foul called. And I'm guessing after, when this is ball is cleared out or goal, this will be the last couple kicks of this game. A free kick from the near side. They're going to send it into the box. That's way too far. And sent out for a goal kick. And there's the whistle. So we will mute our mic. We'll come back in about 10 minutes. We're on Not at 1. You're listening to McLean Broadcast Network. And welcome back to McLean Broadcast Network. I'm Matthew Zwerb, along with my partner.
Grant Gibson.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of McLean Varsity Soccer here, our second in this double header. Very special evening. Right now we are tied at 1 goal, and both of these teams playing very good soccer, almost call it football. Soccer, not football here. So Graham, what are you looking for in the second half for as far as McLean?
As far as McLean goes in the second half, I think they've done an excellent job of attacking down the field and trying to get shots off. But I think they need to focus a little bit more on the defensive side because their goalie has been saving the ball a lot for them tonight. And it's only a matter of time before those goals start to go in and this game becomes out of hand.
Yeah, we are currently tied at 1-1. A big part of this game is the story of Curran, the goalie for the Highlanders. By the way, the Highlanders will start with the ball. They will be going from left to right. Washington Lee will be going from right to left. Curran with 3 big saves to keep this one tied. But McLean, they've had their chances. Second half. Who will win? 40 minutes on the clock. Referee going to blow his whistle here as the lights are on and we are underway in the second half with McLean taking the ball back, and they'll punch it up field, and a pass went adrift on the far side, and Washington Lee will take over. 2 excellent teams, 2 very competitive teams. Washington Lee from Arlington County, just across the border, although the closest Arlington County school would be Yorktown, home of the Patriots. Washington Lee are home of the Generals. Those 2 teams are the big rivals, just like McLean and Langley is here. Ball punched in. Save made by who is the backup goalie, number 11 for the visiting Washington Lee, Jacob M. McLean, they've had their luck, no injuries. Washington Lee's had 2, including their starting goalie, who fell really hard on his side after going up for a ball. And unfortunately for them, well, that's a big loss.
Yeah, you're right. That's a very big loss. And it doesn't look like he's going to be back on the field at the moment because they have their backup goalie out, but we'll just have to see how he does.
Washington Lee here coming, trying to go close to a shot, and Curran with a good save. That's his 4th big save in the night. Trying to go near post, giving him a little bit and making it look easy. And I'm telling you, McLean, they need some offense because in the first half, Washington Lee was having more possession, or at least more attacking opportunities, although both of these teams are extremely talented. As a turnover here on the near side in the midfield, and a foul committed and a Washington Lee player down.
I think that foul was on McLean there. Yes, it was on McLean, and another Washington Lee player's down. That's a 3rd player down tonight. And injuries have been the story for Washington Lee tonight, but he's getting up now.
Yeah, luckily he might come down a little hard on something. It's a little gingerly on that left leg as it was tangled up. Washington Lee working towards midfield, sending it across. Number 14 for the Generals, near side, trying to be ridden off the ball, and McLean with the turnover. Out of bounds off a Washington Lee player, and it'll be McLean ball. 4 minutes gone, 36:54 to go. Still tied at 1.
Even though Washington Lee has had their chances, and McLean's box in the second half. I really think that McLean has just been the more dominant team so far. They've been playing very aggressive.
Yeah, but here comes Washington Lee trying to through ball, but it'll be headed all the way over now, bounce on the far side. And I mean, I know you say that, but it seems like Washington Lee's had, at least for the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, more possession, more chances. I feel like Washington Lee's been able to cover players going downfield and for long balls. And it seems like it's being a double team as once again getting a nice idea. Oh man, this might work. Number 9, Howard trying to work with it. He tried to cross it, but that did not work as the ball sent out to a Washington Lee player. Up towards midfield. That was a nice play there by Charles Howard, as he's not even going to go for one. The ball came right down near the right corner on the near side, and he tried to cross it, wasn't able to get anything on it, and the goalie did recover. Now ball up by midfield. Washington Lee trying to get possession, but McLean plays it back. They'll play it to their goalie. Oh my goodness, and there's going to be a goal. A miscommunication is 2 by the goalie Curran, and a defender is 2-1. Washington Lee.
You know, Curran, he hasn't made really many mistakes tonight, but that is a big mistake by Curran, which is McLean's best goalie. You can't run out like that. You have to go back and defend your goal.
Yeah, well, at least you need better communication, and that's both of their faults because McLean player was saying I had it. Curran also going out to try to get it, and it deflected off to the McLean defender, and I mean, nothing they could do. So it's 2-1 Washington Lee, and on a very bizarre goal. And ultimately, the Highlanders, after having okay possession and having a decent first half, finally are finding themselves down by 1 in the weirdest circumstances. Ball on the near side, trying to play to some open space. They'll give a long ball, but once again, these long balls not really working. I believe that's after it, after a ball, and Washington Lee's goalie will have possession. Powerful shot downfield, misses the first man, headed away. Washington Lee with possession, trying to play towards the center of the field in their box, but no good, and McLean will take over. McLean, long ball for number 22, headed off, and they're going to say that deflected off Washington Lee player. Number 22 was there for the Highlanders. That is Christian Hagen.
Yeah, Christian Hagen made a very nice play there to bounce it off the Washington Lee defender, and now McLean's going to have good field position.
Yeah, free kick coming there, actually. So it wasn't going to be a throw. It's going to be a free kick. Number Justin to take it. He'll play it in. Looking back, ooh, and it deflected right to the hands of the Washington Lee player, and in some trap that they're going to try to. Washington Lee trying to get it downfield in a hurry, but nothing coming of that because McLean with retained possession, and then they just kick it right out and a bad turnover.
You know, there's probably no doubt that Washington Lee misses Christopher Pullock, which is their top goalie, but their backup goalie is playing so well tonight.
And then coming back, and there was a foul originally called by the. There was a foul called, and the referee did not see the flag being raised on the near side to indicate a push, and then McLean with an opportunity. The McLean bench not happy about, but anyways, it will be a free kick for Washington Lee as they'll fire it down with about 31 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the second half. It remains 2-1 Generals on a freakish goal. 2 weird goals for the Generals and 1 nice goal for the Highlanders. They have it and trying to move it upfield.
Yeah, Matt, you talk about those 2 weird goals. The first one coming off a no call foul on Washington Lee, and then the second one was just a miscommunication between player and goalie for McLean.
Yeah, very unfortunate on that one for the on both goals, but the Highlanders, they have to put this behind them, try to find a way to charge it. Tie it. Here with about 30 minutes and a half left to go. Into the box, Washington Lee trying to with a bad angle shot, and it will go as a goal kick. Trying to go near post on the far side of the net from where we are. Beautiful night, no rain, nothing. It's going to be a lot of rain over the weekend. This is April showers. McLean now with a chance trying to go the other way, and Washington Lee will fire it out of bounds for the Highlanders with an opportunity. Quick throw and taken. Trying to center, trying to get a shot off, and that one going way wide. But you got to put that on goal if you're McLean. But I think they're saying that was deflected. It gets a couple cramps for some of the players. Number 4 for Washington Lee having some issues. Meanwhile, it's going to be a corner kick, so I guess it was deflected. Number 4 coming out of the game for Washington Lee, Colin McLean. Limping a little bit, I believe, on that left leg. But, man, a ton of injuries for the Generals.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. I think that's their 4th injury of the night. And that could really be costly later in the game.
Of course, some of them, I'm sure, players will recover. Here's the corner kick taken, low, sent in, rebound, oh, man, and they couldn't get it. Or at least get the shot off from the top of the box. Highlanders do have it, and then it's played out. A good job by Washington Lee there, number 14, Jefferson Hun, and it's going to be a throw-in. Play back, and Generals will pop it up off of the turnover, and then sent out, and they're going to say it's Washington Lee's ball. And the Highlanders, well, with 28 minutes to go, a blown opportunity.
Yeah, so it's another blown opportunity there because Victor Bonsoon got in the way of the ball and it hit him in the right leg. And that can be very costly for McLean because that's another opportunity gone.
Yeah, sent down, and then a misplayed ball for the Highlanders. Defense is coming back, and it's going to be a throw-in on the far side in the attacking end for the Generals. Throw in the come. And then punched out, another throw-in coming. Washington Lee trying to come out. Curran comes out, makes the save with 27 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the second half. This ball is punched towards midfield. And then punched back in, headed up and around. Skillful play, but out of bounds. McLean ball here with just about 27 minutes to go. And if you're McLean, you need something to break your way. Good opportunity because Washington Lee has really done a good job of shutting McLean down. They haven't had a good grade A chance, and a missed opportunity by number 9 Howard, and he's hurting something. I'm maybe a cramp, but he's holding that I believe his left knee. An unfortunate injury, and he's been huge for the Highlanders. And you do not need this right now.
No, you definitely don't, especially for the Highlanders right now, because they're struggling a little bit on offense. And I think a lot of that has to do with communication between teammates, because you keep on overshooting passes and you don't, especially with the one goal that was let in, that should not have been a goal.
Yeah, certainly here. 26:20 to go. Clock is stopped. But ultimately, a free kick coming here and it's punched down. Nobody home, but the header by McLean to nobody. You need to just take that and go. You don't need to be giving it up. But ultimately, McLean will have at midfield a throw-in and another turnover from that. The Highlanders really struggling as Washington Lee. Here they come, taking a shot. Oh, and that just missed Curran. Almost got called out off of his line.
Yeah, Curran was a little bit offline there, but he's very lucky that Washington Lee did not shoot that ball in a timely manner, and the ball went just a little bit past the goalpost.
Yeah, he may have got his fingertips. Somebody did a corner coming towards the front of the net, and it'll roll all the way out. And I see what the call is. They're going to say Washington Lee ball. It was punched out by a McLean player. Trying to stretch Charles Howard out on the bench to our right. Meanwhile, 25 minutes to go. A 5-0 win last week. You heard it right here. It was against Stonebridge. But McLean, if they want to excel in the postseason, they're going to have to do a lot better. Ooh, man, number 7. That time for the Highlanders almost through. That's Victor B. And now the Highlanders almost with possession, but Washington Lee will take over across the McLean logo in midfield. They'll take it towards the far side. Washington Lee a little backpedaling pass. 24:20 to go. Still 1-1. Matthews Werb here along with Graham. Here on this beautiful Friday night, Washington Lee with possession. Center of the field, number 11. Still working, gets the pass in, trying to work with it, but a little 1-2 go doesn't work.
That's right, Matt. And Curran saves the ball again, and now he's going to kick it off.
Highlanders, at least to my knowledge, they haven't had a grade A scoring chance this entire half. And a foul coming, that's going to be against McLean with a push. And a yellow card against number 7, Victor B. And good news, Charles Howard back into this game. Number 9, he has the only goal for the Highlanders. It remains 2-1 with about 23 minutes to go. And we will see what they're able to do. Washington Lee now with possession. They'll send it towards the box over everybody's head. And it will be the goalie, Curran, who will move ahead and almost turned over.
Yeah, there's been a lot of costly turnovers tonight for McLean, but they really need to start working better as a team. And I think if they start doing that, they might have a better chance to get a goal and tie this game at 2.
I think you almost get the pressure that Washington Lee's dominating. Like we said earlier in our JV game, Washington Lee was dominating with possession. That seems to be the case right here in the second half. McLean playing a lot of long balls, but only one person's up, and you need 2 or 3 guys up. Number 7, Victor B on for the Highlanders. So they're going to go with a taller lineup here in the forward position. Highlanders with a throw-in, but it's immediately stolen. It's going to be out of bounds right at midfield on the far side. 21 minutes, 45 seconds to go until this one is at full time. See if the Highlanders might be able to tie this one up. And it will be a stray pass out of bounds by Washington Lee. McLean in their offensive zone. This is a huge opportunity for them. Ball played out once again by Washington Lee. McLean throw in and a turnover there. But they do retain possession. And it'll be fluttering out of bounds. And I mean, just another, just not good pass for the Highlanders.
You know, the Highlanders have been liking to shoot long, deep passes here, and it's not helping their cause because then they're just giving more possession time to Washington Lee. And I think that's ultimately why Washington Lee is up 2-1 right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Highlanders, I mean, they're playing the ball not where the open spaces are. And ultimately, you need to play smarter and less turnovers. And, I mean, if you're going to make a pass, especially in your offensive zone, I mean, don't air it out and make it go over the line and a foul coming on the near side in the midfield. And Washington Lee's going to have another opportunity with 20 minutes left to go. So about halfway through in the second half. 2-1 to the visitors. And, I mean, just frustrating that second goal was the 2 goals came off of weird opportunities. And if you see that, this game in the Sun Gazette, they're going to be humming at that. The 2 weird goals, I'm sure they'll be mentioning those if it does make the next edition. So, talk about that, the non-call. And then does this remain a 2-1 game? I don't know. The 2 goals certainly probably should not happen. I mean, the non-call you can't really do anything about. The second goal, here's a nice opportunity for Washington Lee coming in. A shot on, just going wide of the post. Man, Washington Lee, they've had some opportunities right off the rush.
And they've taken advantage of some of those opportunities, Matt. But most recently, from what we've seen, they've been taking long shots at the goal, and they have not been timing those shots correctly, and that's why they're going wide left and wide right.
Yeah, well, at least they're having shots. McLean, they really haven't put anything on frame for a while, and I mean, you might want to think about taking a longer shot because, as we mentioned, goalies, they can get cold if they're not tested, and I mean, the backup goalie, he has not been tested for a while for McLean, and ultimately, maybe he's had 1 shot or 2, but, I mean, nothing compared to what Kearns had to do.
Yeah, Matt, you're definitely right. And from what I've seen from his backup goalie for Washington Lee, he has been tested tonight once or twice in the second half. But when he's been tested, he's shown up.
Washington Lee trying to play a ball over and Kearns diving out. He wants to play this one quickly, making, well, maybe an unnecessary save, but maybe he saw something upfield. Ultimately, it was a low, long line drive pass that goes absolutely nowhere except for a turnover and Washington Lee right back the other way. Another down Washington Lee player, but they'll play on, trying to play it in, having a man, and everybody's okay. And it was number 8 for Washington Lee. He got up. Ramos Fama.
And Washington Lee is so lucky that he got up because that would have been their fifth injury of the night.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need that. And Washington Lee, they're getting banged up in this game, but they still have the lead. And ultimately, I mean, you can play as physical as you want. You can, there can be as big key injuries for any team, which you obviously don't want. I mean, on either side, but McLean, they just ran the ball out of their own, out off the line. It's another turnover. And McLean, they're just playing sloppy right now. They need to clean it up and be able to get possession. Now, here's a nice long ball for Washington Lee. Once again, they're on it. Having a couple men in the box, played out. Good defense by the Highlanders. About 16-20 to go. Played back, then sent in and into the box. Stopping, waiting. And out of bounds is going to be Washington Lee throwing.
I've really seen Washington Lee have a lot of throw-ins in McLean territory, not only in the first half, but the second half too. But
yeah, header went in and no good, and then a relay and just, I mean, the passes, it seems like every other's going to a Washington Lee player. I mean, you have to play better, and I know this is a good team, but I mean, it's 2-1, and if you want to stay in this game, you're going to have to make better passes. And again, a pass trying to go into Charles Howard offline, and ultimately you need someone to step up. Another ball out of bounds on the far side, and it's going to be Washington Lee ball.
That's been a big problem with the JV team tonight too for McLean. The turnovers that they've committed have negated their opportunities to score. And you have to think if they have less turnovers, then maybe they have more opportunities.
McLean now with a throw in the midfield, an opportunity to maybe see where they go. And then Charles Howard doesn't see his man, and they're trying to get to him really close, but it's just not working. I feel like they keep trying the same thing a lot, where they're playing, trying to win these one-on-one matchups, but they're not.
I've seen them try to get a lot of one-on-one matchups to Howard, but even if he's your best player on your team, you can't rely on one person to carry your whole team.
Ball play back, and goalie will have to spin it out of bounds. Let's see where they'll throw it in. This will be in McLean's attacking end, just at the edge of where you would consider the midfield. Again, they're going to play it, and the header by Howard just goes to no one. And ultimately, this isn't going to work. Highlanders, though, get it back. Trying to work a little pass, playing it on the outside. Let's see what they can do. They're trying to play it a good touch, and then it's going to be played out, throw in for the Highlanders. And this is dangerous. It's about 10 to about 20 yards from goal. Playing in. Highlanders still trying to play into a box, nobody home. And again, communication, I mean, that wasn't necessary. You have other options, go with those other options. And almost another turnover. And a whack-a-mole. Almost a ball played forward by Washington Lee out. And now here they come, the Highlanders, with an opportunity. The inside of the box. Cross is out, a shot, they score! A cross came in! Nobody guarding him! And it's 2-2, and we're tied with 12:44 to go. The Highlanders, from nothing, they have a great A opportunity, getting the ball down low near the goal line. The cross came in, and nobody was there to defend. It's 2-2.
And I was just about to say that McLean just wasted another opportunity, but Victor Bonsun there comes up with a great save and a perfect shot layup for the Highlanders.
Yeah, I mean, Victor, number 7, ran down, able to control, and now the Highlanders have life. And finally, there's not much to cheer about for almost the last 30 minutes, almost the last 40 minutes of this whole game. And finally, with just under 12 minutes to go, they have something. Now here comes the defense in a foul. And I think that should have been a foul and a foul, honestly, on McLean. It looked like there was a grab and a big non-call from the referee. Let's see what McLean could do, trying to play it. Howard was there trying to go after it, but ultimately this will wind up as Washington Lee ball.
You know, you got to think about that. This last goal for the Highlanders is really going to start a fire in here, not only to perform better offensively, but more aggressive defensively too.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But again, there's been 2 big non-calls. One just now, because, emotions are always running high after a goal scored for either team. But this does remain a 2-2 draw. Now a shot coming in. That's wide. Looks like Curran was off his line a little bit, but nothing do it there. As the Highlanders will look for something. Well, we'll look for something here after the goal kick. Curran gets it out to the McLean logo. Washington Lee with possession, but then turned over. Highlanders out by the McLean logo. They'll turn. They're going far side in the midfield. And out of bounds, Washington Lee's ball. Another turnover. And unfortunately for the Highlanders, you have to do better. You have to win the ball and keep it. Keep it with possession. And if they're not able to do that, things won't work out.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. Communication tonight for the Highlanders have really cost them because they could have many opportunities if they just work better as a team and communicate with each other, and maybe even a less goal for Washington Lee.
Yeah, I mean, the teams only has one. They only have one. They only have one goal. I mean, excuse me. Really, one freshman on the team, Giorgio Coe. And I mean, these are all upperclassmen. So you really should expect this team to be playing a little bit better. Although I think for the most part, turnovers haven't really been too big of an issue. There's been less opportunities for the Highlanders. Here's Washington Lee has it going out towards the midfield. They have numbers heading up. Number 11, he'll play it wide. Highlanders able to steal the ball, trying to play it up, but all there are Washington Lee players, and then an errant pass by Washington Lee, one that maybe we would have seen the McLean, unfortunately, something that we saw earlier today with the McLean JV team, or earlier with the McLean high school team. So varsity team, but I mean, anybody's capable of making mistakes. It's just, how do you respond in art, and how many mistakes do you make a night?
You know, over the past couple of minutes, Matt, I've seen Washington Lee and McLean commit many turnovers, but I think more so Washington Lee. They'd have to get some momentum back fast.
Yeah, and a nice move coming ahead. Man, McLean, right now they've been playing good, trying to send it in. Howard with a chance, and it just goes wide to the right. A great job by Charles Howard. With 7:56 to go, just a glancing header that just went wide of the right post. The fans were on their feet in anticipation. But I'm telling you, McLean right now, they're putting Washington Lee on their heels.
You know, they really are, Matt. And Washington Lee is so lucky that header did not go in, because that would have been huge for McLean.
Well, you talked about all the weird goals in this game, all the the non-calls, all the saves by Curran. I mean, it only takes one or two things to make this a completely different game. Here's a big run, and Curran coming out, making a nice save there to keep this one.
You know, we saw Curtin come out earlier in the game trying to get it past, and that's what cost McLean a goal. But that time, I think it was right for Curtin to go out and save the ball.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to go out, you need to, make sure that you're knowing where you are and where your teammates are and who has what. I mean, that was the communication issue. Guarantee you that doesn't happen again this season. It's a freakish goal. But, I mean, again, it's not the end of the world because it's how you respond. And I think McLean's finally been able to respond here, even though Washington Lee is having possession right now. No, we'll see. We'll see who steps up in that 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Washington Lee right now working around the midfield. They go down. A foul called, and Washington Lee with free kick.
You know, I've seen so many fouls called to McLean tonight in the second half, and they really need to stop it. And now there's...
Yeah, two fouls in about in space of 10 seconds. Our free kick is about roughly 35 yards out for the visiting Washington Lee Generals, number 7 to take it, Lucas Mendez. And this is a huge opportunity. McLean with the wall here, and we'll see. Played into the box. Oh, and right off the crossbar.
You know, that kick could have been a little bit lower. I don't know if Hugh could have jumped that high to get it, but luckily it just goes right off the top of the crossbar and into the goalpost.
Yeah, I felt like he read it well, and he had his hand up there. I'm pretty sure he would have been able to punch it over the crossbar or away somewhere, but either way, the Highlanders, Curran's been playing great. Oh, man, almost a missed opportunity. The Highlanders going to have a throw in here, and that could have been a weird, great opportunity for the Highlanders with the goalie coming out and kind of playing a weird ball, and then a turnover now here at midfield, but the Highlanders will have possession back on the far side, right out by midfield in the McLean logo, but on the far side. Washington Lee now trying to muscle it here. We have about 4:20 to go, and a foul called, and I think, let's see who this is gonna go against.
You know, I think I might be a foul on McLean there, and if that's a foul on McLean, that's a costly foul.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, the second one in last 5 minutes. This is going to be about 30 yards out from goal, about 10 from the 20-yard box. And we'll see how this goes. Sent in and going wide, missing everyone. That could have been costly.
That could have been very costly for McLean. Curran looked like he was ready, but even if you are ready, you can still catch the goalie off guard.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is one deflection the other way, and I mean, Curran, who's made some great opportunities, great saves, I should say. You just never know. I mean, ultimately, the Highlanders, they need to get tight defensively. Washington Lee trying to come the other way, still with possession, center field, but turnover here, and then Washington Lee gets it right back. Number 11 working with it here. McLean players goes down, spin move, great tackle there, getting all the ball here with 2:42 to go. This one played up ahead. Highlanders looking like they're going to have possession. And then a whistle and a foul call, and I believe the Highlanders are going to get a free kick with 2:25 to go.
For George Washington, I'm sorry, for Washington Lee, that's a bad time to call a foul in the last 2 minutes. That's the one time you don't want to call a foul.
Yeah, played out on the free kick, and it's going to be McLean ball, number 20 coming in the game. That is Christopher Schramm. Coming in out for number 4, Brian Lopez. And number 2 also coming out, that's Jonathan Sorto. Washington Lee with possession, but it's turned over. McLean, opportunity, but given away Washington Lee. And then right back, McLean trying to get there. They won't be able to on the far side. And Washington Lee trying to take this one ahead. But turned over. Opportunity coming out and played out. I believe that was Howard right back out there. And it's going to be McLean throwing with about 1 minute to go.
McLean played awesome there. I thought that was great offense. Then that was just a little bit of an error pass, but they're playing much better with communication.
Yeah, I mean, that almost worked. And I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends how the pass is, how much power you're going to put into it. And Washington Lee, they ran it in 42 seconds to go until it will be ref's discretion time. And it really depends when he wants to blow the whistle. We're tied at 2. 2-2, McLean and Washington Lee. A great game of soccer here on this Friday night lights. And very entertaining tilt thus far. No lack of offense. McLean for a while didn't seem like they were going to be able to do anything. But just in the last 20 minutes, they got the game-tying goal. And now it's ref's discretion time. Will he blow the whistle? We are tied at 2. And with these two very good teams playing, the Liberty Conference has a lot of very good. They might not be that good, at least for the division. The Liberty division has a lot of good soccer teams. As McLean, Washington Lee trying to really do well as the ball's out of bounds. 0 is on the 0 on the clock, but Washington, it'll be McLean with the throw-in.
McLean will get the throw-in here, and they're going to get another chance to go down the field and possibly end the game here.
Yeah, we will see. As far as overtime stuff is concerned, this game can't end in a tie, though. Washington Lee trying to air one out. McLean there. They're just going to kick it out of bounds. One last good opportunity for Washington Lee. Trying to send it through, and they're going to just send it out. It's going to be a corner kick. Curran trying to come out, but they're not going to make the mistake that they did on Washington Lee's second goal. 2-2, 0 on the clock right now. Ref's discretion. Ball coming in, and it's punched away by Curran. Washington Lee's going to get it. Near side, number 14, firing it back into the box, headed down and away, and McLean's getting a goal kick.
McLean's getting a goal kick there, and Curran did a perfect job of defending that pass.
Yeah, I mean, on the corner, it came in, and he was able to punch it away, just deciding, hey, get this ball away from my net. Not, going to risk anything to try to hold on to it. I mean, with the injury to the starting goaltender, and right now Washington Lee, they have a lot of momentum. McLean, they're just going to try to send this out. Intercepted by Washington Lee, far side. Back in, headed out. Washington Lee again. Turnover, McLean trying to get the Howard. And then it comes right back to a Washington Lee player. Kind of stretching it out. And now in a bad turnover, McLean trying to come Washington Lee, they have numbers. A shuttle, and that's just wide to the left. And this could be the last kick before overtime. And that will be it. So,
I think the Highlanders they played a great end to the second half in order to tie this game at 2-2, and we have a great game on our hands.
yeah, terrific. And a lot of the fans do not know the rules. They're standing up like they're going to go, but we will be back in just a couple minutes because this game's not over. We have overtime. We're going to mute our mics. Be sure to tune in when we're back in a couple of minutes. It's overtime when we're back on McLean Broadcast Network. And welcome back to McLean Broadcast Network. We have 2 5-minute overtimes, and if it remains tied, we will be tied, and that will be it for the game. So 2-2 right now, 2 5-minute overtimes. Obviously, refs discretion at the end of it to see when he's going to blow the whistle. Graham, this has been a pretty interesting tilt. A couple weird goals, and McLean coming back to tie the game, and then Washington Lee with some last minute opportunities. I mean, what do you expect for overtime?
I expect to see even more crazy things in overtime because if we go back to the very first goal that Washington Lee scored, it was on a no-call foul on Washington Lee. And then the second goal was because Kieran ran out of his box. So you have to think, if McLean hadn't had those two mistakes, they could have won the game 2-0.
Yeah, or at least 1-0 or something. But again, Curran had 3 great saves that kept this game from being 5-2. So you just never know. I mean, again, if you change something that changes mindset, it changes everything. So you don't know how this game would have gone. Obviously, it's tied, and I mean, on the first one, it should not happen. The second one, no goal against McLean should not happened. But again, Washington Lee, they're most likely kicking themselves about the goal last one because there was no one marking the man who ran across all out in front alone, unmarked for the tying goal on the cross that came in and was able to get this game tied. So you never know. McLean, final instructions before they will head out for overtime. 5 minutes on the clock. We're tied at 2. I mean, we'll see how this goes. I mean, there's been such drama on this field. By the way, Highlanders going from right to left in their white uniforms, and the navy blue Washington Lee Generals going from left to right. Highlanders looking for something. Looking for a goal to put themselves ahead. 5 minutes on the clock. Whistle will blow. Highlanders going from right to left. 2-2. We're tied, and we are underway with the Highlanders sending a far one down, but intercepted. But then again, and McLean will take it. They'll bounce it back. And then Washington Lee plays it out of bounds at midfield. Throwing it in. Bounce back, now number 32, trying to play it in, trying to play it back. Oh, man, and it almost went through, deflected towards the right side, and McLean, a grade A chance to start this. Here come the Generals back the other way on the far side. They have numbers, but McLean, a turnover, and then it goes right back. Washington Lee, here comes number 7, going in, gets it back, number 11, Stu out, and McLean able to clear. Oh, man, great defense by the Highlanders right there.
That was terrific defense by the Highlanders and an even better offensive start for them. They had a terrific offensive start. A terrific offensive start for McLean.
Yeah, I mean, this has been crazy here with about 3:49 to go in this first overtime. Teams are changing chances. McLean able to just get the ball when the goalie did not have it and deflected to the right side towards the far post. But right now it's Washington Lee with possession on the far side and then giving up a turnover. McLean going towards the center, and then they give it up. Washington Lee, here we come. They'll play it right. Number 9, looking, going, cutting towards the center, play back, and then turned over. But then Washington Lee gets it right back. I mean, it's hard to tell who's been the better team. Washington Lee, I think, for the most part, has had better possession. But McLean, they've had some grade A chances and a couple goals to keep this one in. I feel like McLean, they've done pretty good defensively, except for a couple opportunities. And then a long ball played back to the goalie, and they'll play it up ahead for Washington Lee.
You know, you talk about the time of possession that Washington Lee has had, and while Washington Lee's had time of possession, they have not had many opportunities because McLean's defense is playing terrific.
Yeah, I mean, the first half was better for Washington Lee, and I don't think Washington Lee's had a good well, they had great opportunities towards the end, and I feel like Washington Lee's is dominating more, but McLean, when they've had opportunities, they've been good opportunities. And I mean, well, Washington Lee on the stats is going to go down as dominating. McLean has been better. They've had better opportunities. When McLean's chances, they've been fewer but better. I mean, quality over quantity, it seems to be. Washington Lee, their 2 goals have come over a miscue and a non-call, which, I mean, you never want to hype about the referees, but it doesn't change anything. As this ball played back, and now Washington Lee has an opportunity. Kern's going to come out. That's a risky play, and he's going to just send that one over onto the stairs that are to the right of the field, where when the football team takes the field, they come down, and that was a little risky. Washington Lee, taken down right outside of the box, no call, and that could be another missed call.
Yeah, that's right. Washington Lee's going to get a free kick here, but corner kick here. But Curran here makes a really risky move of coming out.
Played in, sent towards the goal, but no good. By the way, less than a minute to go, 55 seconds. Curran rushes to put the ball on the spot and to get this down, but you don't want to turn the ball over. You want to make sure that everybody's back and everybody's set. 40 seconds to go. Sent down. Ball traveled up. McLean trying to get to it, but Washington Lee gets their first far side in their offensive zone. Washington Lee Generals now turned over there on the far side. McLean will boot it out to midfield, and it's going to be Washington Lee, a McLean player. Washington Lee will send it high, headed down with 6 seconds to go. Now it's rest discretion at this point on Wayne wants to blow the whistle. A long ball sent. It's going to go out for a throw-in. And that will do it for the first half of overtime. The second half of overtime coming up. Will this game remain tied? The goalies will quickly switch ends. So, Graham, some good opportunities. What's one thing that McLean should do better here in the second half of overtime?
Here in the second half of overtime, I think we should do what they were doing in the first half of overtime when they started, which is putting more men down the field and taking greater chances, because they had some great opportunities in the first overtime when it first started in the first couple seconds.
Yeah, McLean going from left to right, so about a minute after it ends, it begins, and McLean now with possession off turnover play back to Curran. He's going to boot this one down to a whole bunch of players, but it goes up ahead, and a lucky opportunity for the Highlanders here as they're going to get a throw-in off of a weird bounce, and let's see if McLean can take advantage. Playing out number 20 for Highlanders, near side, trying to centering feed. No, it doesn't work, and there's going to be a throw-in. They're demanding a free kick. I'm not sure. I do believe that he did only get all the ball, but number 20 just went down. Now number 2 thinking about playing it into the box instead of just play it short. Number 22 ridden off the ball, but then the Highlanders get it right back trying to get it in. Oh, and that one just going high. Man, that would have been something. They played back with 3:50 to go. Nice opportunity there.
Yeah, this is exactly what it's talking about McLean doing, taking greater opportunities, and that's exactly what they've done so far.
Yeah, Washington Lee's goalie was off of his line as they're coming the other way right now on the far side. And McLean decide, hey, let's just get an opportunity, take a shot. Why not? 3:27 to go. Will this game remain tied? By the way, be sure to look out for all of the McLean Broadcast Network spring sports season, including all the big playoff games. We will try to get a lacrosse game in there. It's an arid pass for the Highlanders. Not what you want, though. It's going to be a very fun season with soccer, and hopefully we'll get some lacrosse in there. Trying to play it towards goal, but easily taken by the goaltender for Washington Lee Generals. 2:45 to go. Highlanders and Generals, they're tied at 2. Washington Lee going to the near side, spins around. Number 11 trying to play it back, trying to get the Curran, and he will have it. A great play by Curran. Just coming out in an injured General, and as those two collided, Curran a little shaken up, but a great save by him.
Yeah, Curran a little shaken up here. Now he's okay, but he made an excellent save there, and he's just been doing that time and time again tonight.
Yeah, the Washington Lee Generals player, he's down, Curran's up, he's okay. Probably a little shaken up in the hands. Meanwhile, it's the Highlanders using this time to stretch out, and we really hope, because Washington Lee, they've gotten beat up in this game. They're starting goaltender and a couple guys with 2:06 to go in the second half of overtime. You were worried Curran just came out, and unfortunately, this does not look good for the Washington Lee player. He is still down. They have the McLean trainer and a Washington Lee trainer. Well, 3 people right by him, and you really hope that he's okay. They have not brought the card out. And we're going to step aside. So when we come back, we're going to finish overtime. You're listening to McLean Broadcast Network with 2:06 to go in overtime. We're tied at 2. Will Muir and Mason come back in about a minute? Yeah, welcome back to McLean Broadcast Network. Now, um, they're slowly walking the Washington Lee player off as the Highlanders. They're going to huddle. He took a stumble, and he's not putting any pressure, I believe, on his right leg. He's being helped by two of the trainers, one from their respective teams here with 2:06 to go in overtime. The Highlanders trying to take the lead. It's tied at 2. Will anyone break through in the next 2 minutes and 6 seconds? Waiting for the referee. Oh, blow the whistle. Just a second to get this last bit of overtime, and here we go. Ball is up. Highlanders now with possession, and now here's an opportunity for them, and almost just about a half step off, and the ball sent back into Washington Lee territory. Highlanders now with it. They'll play it up ahead, looking, and they'll send it ahead. Number 20, he's going to get there, but played out first by a Washington Lee player. Highlanders with a huge opportunity from about 5 yards out. Sent in quickly. What will McLean do here? And then it's going to be the flet off of a Highlander, and it's going to be Washington Lee ball. A big waste of possession.
That was a big mistake by McLean, and now they're going to have to try to play defense well.
Yeah, Washington Lee now here with about 1:08 to go. Play far side. And it'll be Washington Lee's ball on the far side. Playing up here, Washington Lee. And then, but they turn it over. Here comes McLean. They have numbers. They're going to send an errant pass right to a Washington Lee player. And then Washington Lee will do the same, except it will go out of bounds. And McLean will have possession with 36 seconds to go. Highlanders trying to have a game winner here. It's tied at 2 currently. McLean ball on the far side here for a throw-in. And then it'll be played back and to the goalie for Washington Lee off of a McLean turnover. 12 seconds to go. Play for McLean with possession. Turned over though. Washington Lee. Maybe a last opportunity. McLean trying to get it. Washington Lee now still with it, chipped over, looking through for a last second shot. Oh, and goes over the bar. And that will do it. Well, it didn't end in a win, but it did end in a loss. It ends in a 2-2 tie. So, Graham, final thoughts?
Even though McLean ended in a 2-2 tie, this is a big tie for their varsity team because they stood up against a very tough Washington Lee team, and they should remain atop of the Liberty Conference.
Well, we will see how the standings are when all the games are set, finished, and done. But for Matthew, but for everybody on the McLean Broadcast Network staff, I'm Matthew Zwerb.
And I'm Graham Gibson.
And we will see you on our next broadcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MHS Broadcast Net and subscribe for all the latest live streams. Goodbye, everybody, and good night.